Alrighty, everybody. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. I'm Savannah Louie. Happy to see you tonight. We've got your top 5 stories for the metro Atlanta area. Thank you so much for joining me again on this, what day is it, Ellie? They're all blending together. Tuesday this evening. And that's how we're going to start this segment tonight. All right, we got a really great story to start you guys off. Inspiring Atlanta minority students. That was the topic today here in Atlanta as Vice President Kamala Harris came to town to speak with Atlanta students. She, by the way, is the first Black and Asian American vice president. She's also the first woman vice president. And her message to students today were, just because you've never seen someone who looks like you in a role doesn't mean you can't be the very first. You can see a lot of students here even filming her as she spoke to hundreds of young people today. Now, the vice president is a graduate of Howard, which is a historically Black college and university. HBCUs are responsible for 50% of Black teachers, 70% of Black doctors, and 80% of Black judges. So again, her message to these young people, really hoping to inspire them to take on new careers and new roles here in the Atlanta metro area. All right, we're moving straight ahead here to another story, concerning story out of Smyrna today, following an arrest for someone accused of abusing an animal. We want to warn you, the video we are going to show you is disturbing. And from here, I'm going to let our reporter, Yasmina Alston, explain.
Absolutely disturbing, disgusting.
We want to warn you the footage you're about to see is difficult to watch. Camille Lilly first saw the Ring video posted online in her Cobb County neighborhood feed early Friday. It shows this man throwing a small dog into a wall. Thankfully, the Jack Russell Terrier named Smokey is okay and safe.
And I'm like, let me watch this again. I don't think I saw that correctly. So I watched it again and again and again. I didn't want to believe what I had just seen.
But Lily, who has her own rescue, shelters, and shelves, says she didn't know what happened to the pup after seeing the footage, so she immediately called Cobb County Police.
I saw that. I knew something had to be done right away.
It was her quick action that brought the case to Steve Hammond's desk. The director of animal services in Cobb County says they began investigating and obtained warrants. Smokey was then taken to be checked out as part of that process. Hammond says he had no permanent injuries.
It's the old adage of see something, say something. And so social media has been able to bring this case to us where otherwise we might not have found it.
Now Smokey is back with his owner, who Hammond says was not involved in the abuse. At this time, the relationship between the suspect and owner is unclear, but it's a case the Animal Cruelty Investigation Unit is taking very seriously.
With animal cruelty, it's linked to child abuse, elder abuse, domestic violence.
Very thankful that we were able to get that little dog some help, and very thankful for the folks who got eyes on that video and were able to pass along information to police. All right, guys, we are moving straight ahead here, zipping along to another story. This one out of Riverdale this evening, and it's a little, it's pretty concerning here. Family alleging that their loved one suffered a wrongful death, and now there's a whole lawsuit surrounding it. Now, I'm going to take you to the place where this story really unfolded here. You can see here, this is the Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale. Now, a man named Daryl Fussell was there. He suffers from mental illness and schizophrenia, according to a diagnosis, and he was admitted to this medical center. He was supposed to be supervised, but he wasn't supervised properly. He simply walked out of the hospital. Now a lawsuit alleges hospital security wasn't notified and a hospital lockdown wasn't initiated either. Several hours later, Fussell wandered into a construction site nearby. He grabbed a hammer and started hitting himself in the head. And that's when police were called. When they arrived, Fussell allegedly moved toward a toolbox. He grabbed a pair of scissors and lunged toward officers. The officers' response, one of them, responded by shooting Fussell 9 times, ultimately killing him. The family is absolutely devastated. They are upset. and that is why there is now a lawsuit surrounding this incident. As we continue to learn more about what unfolded and the response from officers who have been involved in this incident and the results of this investigation, we will bring you all of the latest updates. All right, guys, it is time for another update on the Atlanta Public Safety Training Facility. I know that we're talking about this one a lot. We do have a new update today. We're talking about top officials here in Georgia now butting heads over this police training facility and what exactly should be done about it. This one, our reporter Zach Summers took a close look at this story today, and we're talking about Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens and Senator Raphael Warnock, both on opposing sides here. I'm going to let Zach Summers explain.
I'm Zach Summers. Mayor Andre Dickens, speaking to a room full of law enforcement this morning, once again defended the need for the Atlanta Public Training Facility. His remarks come a day after he sent an 11-page letter to U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock, who believes the decision should be left up to voters. Warnock has been calling for more transparency around the city's verification of more than 116,000 signatures gathered. The mayor saying in his letter the review is necessary to protect the referendum process. The Cop City Coalition released a statement saying if the mayor believes in the process, then the city should withdraw its legal appeal against the petition and start counting the signatures.
All right, guys, I do want to bring you a quick update on a positive story. That's how we're going to end tonight, with a positive story. I know that's what everybody wants here. We're talking about new development renderings out of Forsyth County. This is exciting. If you live in the area, near the area whatsoever, you're going to want to check this out. Let's pull up pictures. All right, how cool does this look over in Forsyth County? This is the Gathering development. It's a live, work, play institution about to be under construction in the area. Now, according to a report by the Atlanta Regional Commission, it is a, quote, resounding validation of progress. You can see some of the images here showing what it will eventually look like. We're talking about restaurants, housing, as well as even a hotel. A beautiful facility. It's going to cost a lot of money, though. $2 billion going into this development. And it's going to serve a lot of people. Seating 18,000 people. Plenty of shops here as well. It's one of the largest private developments in history. So we are super excited to see what comes out of this. I'm planning a few trips up to Forsyth County. I don't know about you. All right, guys, but I do want to say thank you so much for joining me here tonight. I'm Savannah Louie here on this wonderful Tuesday evening. And with that, we have got your forecast. Let's send you out with a picture of the Metro Atlanta skyline. Hello, Midtown. Midtown, you're looking beautiful and all lit up. And speaking of beautiful, and someone who will light you up with a smile on your face, we have meteorologist Patrick Peets with our forecast. Patrick, how's it looking?
Not too bad out there. Most of us have been dry today. We've seen some clouds around, and the clouds are gradually starting to break across the region. But there are some showers that are moving across parts of North Georgia this evening. Some folks are actually dealing with a little bit of rain. Most of us, not quite so. Good evening. Hopefully you are having a fantastic Tuesday. We'll go ahead and take a look at First Alert Radar real quick, and you can see that there is a stray shower that's moving through Gwinnett County, South Forsyth County, pushing into North Fulton at the moment. That's isolated pocket of rain for Atlanta. But you can see to the south of the city, folks that are in Jasper, Putnam counties, they've been getting rain for a while now. This line of showers near that boundary that's south of our region has really just kept a little bit of moisture around. So those folks have got some rain that's been stretching in the Butts and Upson, Pike Lamar counties, as well as portions of Spalding County picking up on a little bit of rain. And then there's another little cluster that's been hanging out near Troop, Meriwether, southern Heard County, moving into portions of Alabama. So other than that, I think that we're okay. We're going to keep that low-end chance for a shower this evening at about 20%. If you haven't seen any rain yet, you may still stray shower through the overnight hours. There's going to be a little bit of moisture building in. So we're going to keep that 20% chance of rain through the overnight and into the start of the morning. It looks like tomorrow morning is going to be our best shot of seeing a few showers. I don't think this is going to be enough to to be routine altering or anything, but a lot of you have been praying for rain, and there's a little bit of that in the morning. Clouds linger through the day, and then we'll gradually see things clear out overnight into your Thursday, which is going to allow for a little bit more sunshine. And also, those temperatures are going to nudge up a little bit. We'll get slightly warmer. Most locations should hit that 80-degree mark, and then Friday is my pick of the week. Good sunshine, a few clouds, but highs are going to be in the low to mid 80s. It's going to feel amazing outside Friday. We just have to get through a little bit of gloominess for the start of the day tomorrow, where there's going to be thick cloud cover and some showers. But you can see that the moisture is not widespread in the morning, and after we get into the afternoon, guidance is pretty much dialed back on that rain chance. With the exception of the southernmost part of our area, the Jasper Putnam County folks could see a little bit of rain tomorrow afternoon, but the rest of us should see things dry out as we head through the day. Maybe a couple of breaks in the clouds a late day, but that will not be enough to get us warm. There's going to be a nice easterly breeze, roughly 10 miles per hour or so, but we do expect them to gust to 15, maybe even 20 at some times, and that's going to be ushering in some cooler air. So it's going to be a struggle to get into the upper 70s, but I think most locations do that. As far as the 80 degrees tomorrow, it's going to be far, few, and in between. I have us topping out at 78 here in the city, 77 over in Athens and Covington, 75 down in Griffin, and then you can see places like Dalton and Rome. They have that best chance of getting into the low 80s tomorrow because they're going to be further away from some of that cloud cover, so they should get a little bit more daytime heating, so they should warm a little bit more than us here in Atlanta. But I still think tomorrow evening is going to be a fantastic night to step out for a nice glass of wine. Wine down Wednesday. Y'all know that's my thing. I'm not a sommelier, but I'm working on it. Love a nice red 90% of the time, but with weather that's in the low to mid 70s after you get off work, I'm going to go ahead and be okay with you drinking a little Sauvignon Blanc if that's your thing. Go ahead and enjoy it. A pretty dry evening with clouds breaking through the overnight. That's going to set us up for some sunshine Thursday morning for the morning drive, and temperatures are going to fall a little bit because without clouds, we typically are a degree or two cooler. So we will see those numbers slide into the low 60s. We'll not be surprised to see some upper 50s for the morning. But with sunshine dominating the afternoon, we should easily get into the mid 70s around lunchtime. 75 here in the city at 12, and then we'll get into the low 80s for the afternoon. Guidance has been picking up on a little shortwave moving in from the northwest, but it should be pretty moisture starved, so not a lot of rain, and it should be losing moisture as it moves in. So maybe some folks in Rome could see a stray shower on Thursday, but I think the bulk of us will be dry and sunny and comfortable low 80s for the afternoon. Meanwhile, as we extend out that forecast, improving as we march towards the weekend. Listen, this past weekend was amazing. I know some of you guys came out and joined us at the North Georgia State Fair. This is the last weekend of the fair, and to be quite frank, I don't know if I've ever lived anywhere that there were 2 weekends back-to-back for a state fair that the weather was better than fair. It was amazing, and we are lucky. If you didn't get to get out this weekend, I actually think they broke records with the number of people that were out there, according to someone that we spoke with at our tent. But beautiful weekend to get outside. And even as we head into next week, that forecast is trending a little dry. So I think that we're going to have a pretty solid start to the week next week. Keeping an eye on the tropics, Tropical Storm Philippe is looking a mess. It's been undergoing southwesterly wind shear, which has essentially been tearing this system apart. You can see that it doesn't look well defined, doesn't look organized. You can't even really see a defined center of circulation. The winds have dropped over the course of the last 24 hours. They've been hovering near 45 miles per hour since yesterday evening. It's moving to the west at 13, and it's just going to continue to weaken. I don't think this is going to be a major impact. There will be some rain that moves into Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. They'll get some rain from this. If you had plans to go to any of the islands, I think that would be maybe a little bit of a downer, but I don't think that this is going to be a major impact. It's just going to be wet. And, I mean, when you go to the islands this time of year, you expect to get a rogue rain, shower, thunderstorm, and you'll see some of that with this system moving in that direction this weekend. But other than that, I think this should be pretty minimalist in terms of impact. On the southeastern side of that, there's a cluster of thunderstorms that has a developing area of low pressure associated with it, and it's in a more conducive environment, less shear. It's a little bit more moist, and we could see some gradual development here. There's about an 80% chance that we could be dealing with a depression as early as Thursday. More than likely this weekend we'll be dealing with that, and we'll have to continue to monitor that as that unfolds and develops. But otherwise, the weather at home, with the exception of the spotty showers this evening and into tomorrow, really the only thing that's really happening. I'm enjoying this nice stretch of pleasant weather because you always know that that bumpy season is just around the corner. Fall is a transitional season, and at some point we're going to get cold fronts that start to dip a little bit further south, and that's going to rock the boat a little bit. But for now, we're just going to revel in the fact that tomorrow's the best shot at rain that we have. The next 24 hours is our best chance of getting a little bit of moisture in the next 7 days, and then after that, gradually twinning towards gorgeousness for the weekend. So I'm going to take a quick look at YouTube to see if there are any questions. I mean, the forecast is awesome, so I mean, shouldn't be any complaints there. Nope. Happy faces in the YouTube chat, which is great news. Thank you all for joining us at home on Atlanta News First Plus, the ANF Plus app. And if you are joining us on YouTube and you don't have ANF Plus on your TV, it's a good way to just kind of like run down the news of the day, the weather of the day. We update that throughout the day. All of our Mets and all of our news staff, everybody's working kind of when we're not on air. And even when we are, sometimes there's work being done to keep you guys informed on that platform as well. So there you have it. Here's that 7 day. And y'all can catch us on Peachtree TV at 10 and Atlanta News First at 11. Y'all have a good night.